we as individuals, we have a lot of insecurities that we have yet to address. And what lies in insecurities is fear. I mean, if you're just selling for less, are you really living? No, you're not really living. And let's be real, like, you, me, I have a dream. Everyone else has a dream. Everything else is just kind of like stopping it. It's just, again, we're worrying about the thoughts of others. And then we will continue to allowing ourselves to be trapped by the thoughts of others. And we're allowing ourselves to be trapped by dogma. That's typically what dogma is. We're living our lives through other people's expectations. And one thing I always tell people is like, we can lie to each other, we can lie to other people, but we can't lie to ourselves. We all do have similar problems. It may not be the exact same thing to the T, but it still has the same effect at the end of the day. And if we continue to allow those things to go unaddressed, we just going to continue to be trapped by dogma. So, like, we all have a bit of God in us, like, and God on display, G-O-D, God on display. Before we all die, we need to be able to show and manifest like exactly what our true desires are, and that's just literally tapping into your purpose. Like, what is your why? If you can't tap into your purpose, you can't tap into your why, then you're not really truly living as well. Well, you're gonna settle for mediocre. You're gonna settle for like 2%. I can't even say 2%. 0.99%. You're not able to hit the 1%. If we're truly trying to get to a point where we're allowing ourselves to live by our truth so that we can die by our truth, you gotta travel from within. Your internal space is so much fucking bigger than, pardon my French, but your internal space is bigger than your fucking, like, external space. Like, there's only so much external stimuli. Just like that noise right there. Like, I didn't get spooked. You didn't get spooked. That's what I'm saying. Like, things that happen, like, we're so used to the external world, we just become desensitized to it. But one thing about that we're not desensitized to is ourselves. To yourself. Tap into your creativity. Tap into that mindset. Tap in, like, rearrange your mindset and really address the underlying issues. Why aren't you living your best life so that you can die your best death? There's nothing to fear about death. What I fear most, I don't fear death itself. Like, I don't fear dying. I fear that, if I die, I don't have time, or I wouldn't have the chance or enable myself or give myself the abilities to be able to really tap into the shit I'm really supposed to be doing. You can go to sleep every fucking night and wake up and be okay with that. Then okay, then cool. Then I'm not talking to you. But to those I am talking to those that understand exactly what the fuck I'm saying, if you can go to sleep at night and you wake up restless, then you're not living your purpose. Period. You just can't be upset when you see somebody else actually doing it. Like, the fact that we see or have people in our lives that's actually doing their thing and really chasing their dreams, like, that's a blessing. That should be a symbol or a hint from the universe and from the universe from within, really. True consciousness to let you know, that's a reminder, you need to be waking up, doing what makes you happy. Fuck everybody else and fuck their thoughts and fuck their feelings. Because the people that's even most close to you are going to be the ones that try to reap off of you, and they're going to wish you shit. Instead of the strangers who you don't know, but they see your work, they're encouraging you. That's like only 3 people you have close to you. Imagine the billions and billions of people who's actually supporting and funding your dream. That's it.
I get paid for free.
Make a bigger salary. That shit said 25K, bro. They said if you fucking go to what was that shit online? Connection online.
Yeah, education connection.
Education connection online.
connection.
Tongue twister. Right? They literally said 25K. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they said 25K. If my memory serves me correctly, right?
25K for what?
For like your salary, like if you go through that program, you be making that much, in addition to whatever else you're making, right? But I'm just like, damn, like But of course, they said 25K around that time, so you gotta adjust that, with inflation. I don't have the inflation calculator, but nigga, that's like about 50 something, 60 something K between there now. Like that shit came out when I was like, because I remember that shit came on around like what, after not Martin, but Wayne Brothers, like during the day, like that's like what, I was probably like what, like 7, 8, 9, around that time. Crazy.
Hey, shout out to the Everest chick, whatever she's doing right now. Shout out to the Education Connection chick too. Yeah, there was multiple Everest people. They changed them up, but the Education Connection, she always she held it down.
She did it.
She was definitely the LeBron of those commercials. So,
she really did it.
And I feel like those commercials are. It's interesting because I feel like we're in the age group of where those commercials really hit home.
Talk to you.
When you're a kid, when you're a teenager, I remember.
Get the fuck off the screen.
Can you turn it back on Cheaters? I was just watching Cheaters.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to watch fucking. Go back to watching Looney Tunes.
But it's different now. It's different now. It's I'm 26. It's like, dang, 25. I'm 26. 25. And I don't feel 26.
I'm right behind you.
I feel like the ages are actually getting younger. I feel like as you get older. As time passes, 26 isn't really 26. 26 is more 22, 21, 23.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. It feels like my life is just starting, rather than I've been in the field and I've been doing this for a long time. It feels like my life is just starting. I just left my other job. I'm building my brand. Coming up with my projects, figuring out who I am. I feel like I know who I am, and now I'm moving forward. In that light. Mm-hmm. And it's just interesting because I drove past campus today, GGC's campus, and I'm seeing these young kids, 18, crazy, right? 19, crazy. And I used to be their age, so I kind of know what's going through their heads. But I feel like their 18, 19 is younger than our 18, 19. Yes. Their 18, 19 is like 13, 14, 16.
Yeah, I was being generous. I said 16.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the person, of course, but I feel like it's even younger now because internet, social media, and that influence is heavier than it was on us. Facts. And that's harder to tune out. Even at our age, it's harder to tune out the influences of social media and other people and just all the external, like you were talking about. It's not easy to tune that out, to really listen and hone in on your inner voice. So what do you recommend for that 18, 19-year-old just starting college, just moving in on campus? How do they find themselves? How do they find their inner light?
And you gotta practice solitude. Gotta practice solitude. You're not practicing solitude, being in solitude, understanding what solitude is. Solitude is, hey, you're just being by yourself, understanding yourself, understanding your frequency, understanding your vibes, understanding your likes, your dislikes, understanding your interests, and things that don't interest you. Why live a life where you're doing something that doesn't satisfy you? It's like how you been eating. Like, you remember growing up and you hit that growth spurt, and you just eat that. I mean, I still have something now, but I eat food, or you eat food, and you still hungry. You're not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And you ate a whole bunch of food. It's like that. Your appetite for creativity is not, again, resting in other people or trying to satisfy other people. It's resting in yourself and your internal desires. That's what's going to satisfy you. Everything else external is just going to be a complement to what you're already bringing to yourself. You feel me? What you're emitting from within, like inwardly to outwardly, like in, out. You feel me? Like that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Stop living on the outside, man. Start living on the inside and practice solitude. Because all the answers are on the question. Matter of fact, all the questions that you definitely are thinking, bro, are inside. It's not on the outside. The kids, or a lot of people that's even younger than us, are getting that spotlight. So it kind of goes hand in hand as to why, or if anything, it leverages why they're trying to be trapped in other people's places or other people's shoes or where they used to be. Like, keep in mind, like, this is a recording, right? This was a point in time or a period which I was here. So by the time you view this, you're going to be paying attention to a point I used to be. You're not going to know where I'm at. So that's what it is. We get caught up in the people's past. You know, like that person's present as you're watching is their past.
But the thing that comes to my mind is my partner, and you know, her past, and being patient enough to watch her growth in the present time. I feel like I knew getting into this relationship that I had to be patient, but I still find myself at times getting frustrated because I almost feel like I'm in between a rock and a hard place. Yes, I'm committed to this person. I let them know that I'm committed to them. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. And I've committed to the journey. And the journey, there's a lot of bumps. There's a lot of ups and downs on this journey. And for the most part, it's her learning process.
Right.
You know, of course, I'm learning things about myself, but I'm a little bit older, a little bit more mature, a little bit more knowledgeable. So I'm aware of some of my faults, and I can fix them before they start to manifest in the external world. But for her, sometimes she has to go through the experience. She has to see it. She has to be in it before she can come to the realization of she needs to make a change. And for me as her partner, it's like when we go through something, I feel like I'm being dragged through it. I feel like each time, you know, I'm in the situation and I'm being dragged into it, and I try to keep an objective perspective, but sometimes that's hard. You know, sometimes it's hard to be almost like a mentor or a guide to your partner, to your romantic partner, and not have your emotions invested at all.
To be in the true masculine frame, right? Technically, that's how it is. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel the exact same way. Like, all my exes, I'll be real with you, I haven't really learned a lot from them. Like, I'll say this, I learned a lot from them, like, indirectly, because I learned through their actions. But in terms of them actually verbally, or them really showing me something, like what to do and how to do something, I've never been taught that way from them. And that's just the difference between the feminine and the masculine. Like, the energies, in some kind of way, they do clash, but they do balance each other out. And knowing, you know, how true femininity is, like, I mean, they're not built and designed to endure a lot of the things that we endure. You know, at the end of the day, it's like they're there to, you know, be by our side, maintain the femininity form. Because I'll say this, there's a lot of things that the feminine can see that the masculine doesn't really see, unless that true masculine understands what true masculinity is. But even sometimes too, when you do, once in a blue moon, you may hit a little bump in the road. It may come a point in time that she may be able to point something out. She wouldn't know what it is for what reason, but, or she might, but she wouldn't be able to explain it. So that's what it is. I feel like the feminine energy can expose the underlying, you know, truths within certain things. But as it comes to explain them, you know, we come in and we step in and have to explain it, because, you know, we're having to, as men, you know, we experience things different from them. Like, we go through a lot more hardship than they do, you know. And like, think about it. Like, if a woman starts a business, they're easily congratulated. Congratulated about, you know, their hard work and effort, like, just from having the idea. But if a guy does that, then it's like, well, you better be already successful and this and that and third. This is a different expectation.
Yeah, it's a different expectation. You know? Yeah, for sure.
If we choose to mix that into our lives as the masculine form, then we have to be open to that. I mean, that's like going through life and saying, oh, life, like expecting life not to, like, to test us. Like, I really figured as this, that's part of life testing us. As men, we have to have morality. We need to have principles. Like, we need to understand ourselves. And we gotta make sure that we build ourselves to endure a lot of things, bro. We're literally their rock. Like, seriously. So if we're not being tested, and one day that will test us, we end up losing, bro. We can't even be upset if she chooses to leave, or or go. Like, I feel like if she chooses to stay too, that'll be due to the fact of what you've already put into her. Like, and that's what's amazing about the feminine energy. When you give and nurture the feminine energy, bro, and it's one that you really, really fuck with, bro, she ain't gonna leave you. She ain't gonna leave you. She be broke with you too. And that's if, again, you nurture the feminine energy the way it needs to be. Because think about it, you're still staying with her, right? You know, you're going through whatever or experiencing whatever with her. You have any time to leave, but you don't. And you didn't. Even to this point right now, as people watching right now, watching our present, they're watching our past. Like, but knowing at this point right here, you haven't left.
Not yet. Sorry. Had to put that in there. Make you do a double take real quick.
At the end of the day, bro, it's just like we're still with it. Like, even as guys, though, like right now we're learning from you indirectly because this helps us to understand like the feminine energy. So next time we probably go with another chick. We're okay, cool. Like, this chick is different from this other chick. But I'll put it this way: even the masculine form is gonna be hard to put away from the feminine because if she's submissive, and I mean submissive, I mean I know.
You about to get in trouble saying that.
I know, right?
You know you about to get in trouble saying.
Listen, yo.
I'm about to get in trouble uploading this. I'm okay with it though. That's the job.
But that's the thing though. It's like, but see, that's what I'm saying. Society's painting a whole different picture. That's why everything right now is so messed up and fucked up.
It's backwards.
You know, both men are submissive to women, right? And women are submissive to men. Again, we balance each other out. So whatever we're submissive to, as long as that partner is feeling comfortable, right, and feeling concrete, like, okay, cool, like my partner's not going anywhere. As long as they're willing to bend their back all the way 300 or 360 or 720 times infinity, and you willing to do the same, bro, y'all ain't separated, bro. Y'all gonna get each other's nerves like crazy. Y'all ain't gonna separate. Because that'll be the same bit that's gonna sit there while you get sick and still be with you. Right? And you won't know it too. You won't know that's your chick for real. Right? Because if you gonna do the same thing for her, like, and I put it this way, like the feminine energy, like they think that they really are in their minds and thoughts, but when it comes down to kind of like acting certain things out, they're not going to do it. Certain things they can, but in other things they can't. They just have to wait and see what the man does and see how to really reciprocate that and show that, reflect that, so they can make sure that, again, just how you satisfy them, they can satisfy you. Because let's be real, bro. People want to talk about, you know, being in polygamy and all that. I don't give a crap, bro. A dude can have tons of, and I need girls to understand this. A guy can have a tons of chicks. He's only gonna have one chick. A girl can't have a bunch of dudes. Because a girl is really trying to find who in the hell she can be loyal to. So she needs one dude. She needs one dude to complete her. She don't need a whole bunch of niggas. It's called a gangbang. Shit.
Cut.